Neil, just bring us up to speed. Everyone back okay?
Yes, thankfully, with no fresh injuries from the internationals, which is great. Nice surprise. So they're all buoyant. Everyone had a touch of success while they were away. So we're really pleased to have them all back and, in good spirits.
Christopher Julian, is he back in the reckoning yet?
Maybe not for tomorrow, but definitely for, this week, whether it be Sparta or Ross County in the Cup. So he's just started training the last few days. He's feeling good, but tomorrow's probably too soon for him.
What was the upshot of Jeremy's injury?
He's fine. It was just a little bit of a trauma, no ligament damage, and he's been training the last couple of weeks since the Motherwell game.
Cool. You mentioned about the international games. I wonder what it was like watching Ryan Christie perform and then see him get so emotional after playing such a key role for his country.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. Delighted for him as an individual, delighted for the game in Scotland. It's been a long wait, always a bridesmaid. I think it gives the game here a huge shot in the arm and, a bit more credibility. There's a lot of boys in the squad and in the team who, play their trade here in Scotland in the SPFL. So, yeah, delighted for the players and the club made a massive contribution to the Scotland setup. And it's been a long wait, but, I think everyone's looking forward to it.
Where do you think the team's at now when they played Serbia the way they did? I mean, they certainly look as if they can make an impact in the Euros, yeah?
It's just confidence, I think. I think even you have to remember those 3 games were away from home. I thought they were unlucky not to get something from the second and third games as well. But you can see that the system's working, and there's obviously very strong unity within the squad as well. I think they showed great sort of mental fortitude to win the penalty shootout when, they suffered the hammer blow of conceding in the last minute. And they sort of turned the corner, I think, from a physical and mental point of view. I think they look, a decent team now. Obviously, Steve's thinking they've got a bit more work to do, which you never stop doing as a manager, looking to improve. But, I think everyone should take stock and enjoy it and look forward to it. I think for our players in the squad, it's a great incentive for the second half of the season as well.
In terms of them kicking on and have that goal.
Yeah, well, we've got something, really tangible to look forward to, not just in domestic football now, but at the end of the season, a major tournament, which, hasn't happened in a generation.
When you look at guys that have, over the last 20 years retired from international football with Scotland and not managed to make it to a major tournament, how good is that for guys, like Ryan and Callum who have that chance? Do you think they're guys that really deserve to be playing at that stage?
Well, I don't know about deserve it, but they've earned the right to do it. And I think that's the important thing, and now they can sort of put that to one side, and obviously we want them to concentrate fully on the Celtic duties now. But I think it's, like I said, it's great for the game. It's been a long time waiting for it, and, congratulations to everyone involved.
Well, Lee obviously got a bit of game time as well. Do you think that was maybe valuable minutes for him as he sort of builds his way back up to where he needs to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think every sort of spell that he plays in games is important to him. He was unlucky, if he wanted one chance against Israel to fall to somebody, it was him. And, he just didn't make the right connection. But he's there. He's always sniffing out chances, always in the right sort of position. And he's come a long way in a short space of time, so he just, again, it's a huge incentive for him, not just playing for Celtic and winning things with us, but obviously what lays at the end of the season.
Obviously attention's now turned to the weekend and back to club football with such a busy schedule ahead. How important is it to kick that off with 3 points tomorrow?
Well, we've got a massive run of games now, if you're looking at December as well, I think we've got 10, so it's good to have a healthy squad. It's good to introduce some players back. If we can pick up where we left off, I'd be pleased. We've got the European run where we need to get some sort of respectability back in it from our point of view as well this week. But, tomorrow's important. It's a game that we're all looking forward to. And, yeah, it'd be good to put a run together and have consistent performances.
Do you feel that everyone in your squad will have a really big part to play over the next couple of months with it being such a busy schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be impossible to maintain consistency of team selection, and it's always important to, freshen things up. We've got 3 or 4 competitions coming up. If you count the League Cup, the Scottish Cup final, Europa League, and obviously the league as well. So it's what we want to do. It's what we want to challenge in all the competitions, and we want the players to, sample that experience. And there's no substitute for them playing games. And it'll mean training will be sort of very much diluted, but it's important that we get consistency. We get consistency from individuals, and we get consistency of performance from the team.
Neil, you look at Odsonne Edouard, and I think he broke the under-21 record for France, and the way he's been playing. Is that something that you need to see more of at club level now, that consistency from him? Because he's got it, obviously.
Well, first of all, it's a great milestone for him, and something he should be very proud of. And, it was great to see him, fresh and, looking strong. And his 2 goals were fantastic. So that puts him hopefully in a good frame of mind for the games coming up.
Do you still need to manage him? I know you were saying previously when,
You need to manage them all, Luke.
Yeah. But just in terms of injury and fitness.
He's no different. Sorry?
Just with injury, fitness, all the games, is it a case of managing them all then, not just him?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, we isolate one player and, treat him any differently to the rest. They're all important in their own way. They all make, important contributions, and, we'll just have to see how he's feeling, from game to game.
I think you're unbeaten in the last 9 Hibernian Celtic games at Easter Road. What sort of match do you expect this time around? They've had a couple of defeats in the league, but I don't think their performances have been, maybe merited that. The good win in the cup last week against Dundee. So at home, I think they've been strong this season. And under Jack, they've brought in a couple of players who know the environment very well. So I think there'll be goals in the game. Hopefully we come on the positive side of that. But they're always very entertaining games between the teams. Do you think it's an interesting weekend with the top 4 playing each other?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But not really giving that much thought. No, the focus has been on this week. The players coming back and, keeping the players that we hear, bubbling along. So, it's been a long 2 weeks, from a club perspective. But, now we're really looking forward to the depth of games that we can get into.
No, obviously last international break was a bit of a disaster for you with the players coming back with the self-isolating stuff. And you mentioned that a lot of them are coming back with positivity now. How big a boost is that then? How big a difference can that make?
Yeah, I mean, it's night and day, from what we experienced last month. So, hopefully we can carry that positivity on. We finished the break, or before the break, with a really good performance and a good win. And, we're very much hoping we can pick up where we left off. Won't be easy. But I think it's important now we settle down. They don't have any international duties now for quite a while, and they can concentrate on what we have to do. We have a bit of work to do, obviously, in the league and some of the other competitions as well, and it's a great challenge for us now.
Just on the injury news as well, how close is Mikey Johnson to featuring?
Well, again, we'll be doing some fitness, not so much fitness testing, but speed testing, physical testing with him over the next couple of days to see, if there's been an improvement, in his speed and his cardiovascular work. He's still got a bit of work to do. He's been out such a long time. He's had surgery, and he's had a steroid put in a hip injury, which he's recovered from. So he's back training, but just not at the level we know he can reach to. So that's going to take a little bit more time.
Yes.
Neil, given you're playing on the Saturday, that if you win puts pressure on Rangers the following day to try and pick up the 3 points. So does that matter to you at all, the kind of playing catch up and what have you, and the pressure that puts on either team?
Not really, no. I'm just sort of trying to focus now on being consistent and playing well like we know we can, and winning games and at a level and a performance level that we expect from the players and we know that they can attain. And if we get that right, then I'm sure we'll, start making inroads on anyone around us really.
You've spoken about players who are coming back from injury and might have this kind of spring in their step with what Scotland might offer them. James Forrest, how far away is he? Because obviously he's a player that Scotland will want fully fit for these Euros, you would have thought.
Oh yeah, Jamesy's still quite a bit away. You know, he's had surgery, so you're looking at maybe another 6 to 8 weeks. But you know, he'll be fit for the Euros, hopefully. And again, I'm sure that's a huge incentive for him as well.
And with these players coming back from Scotland, you talk about them from Scotland duty, talk about them being buoyed. Any concern at all that mentally and physically it might have taken quite a lot out of them? I know Steve Clarke obviously rested some for the middle game, but it was 3 big and important games in quick succession, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he didn't rest Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, so that didn't please me, but they look okay. You know, there might be a little bit of a kick-in effect, you know, maybe later on down the line, but I think certainly for tomorrow, they're fit and available to play. And I think when you're sort of feeling good about yourself, you know, you want to keep that confident run going. And like I say, I think it can only help us rather than hinder us.
When you say it didn't please you that he didn't rest Ryan, is there anything you can do about that, or actually do you just have to, you know, as a club manager, stay quiet on these matters?
I mean, it was 3 90 minutes in 6 days, which is a big ask for any individual. So I think Steve tried to balance the squad as best he could, but looked like he didn't want to play without Ryan in the games. So I can't be overcritical of it, but you know, we would have liked him maybe for him to miss some of the games anyway, you know, but he's played in all 3.
I guess it's a fine line from you, isn't it? Because that shows how important he is, and it's a massive compliment to him, isn't it, how important he is to the Scotland team?
Gee, and he's important to me.
Yeah.
He's important to my club, he's important to my team, he's important to my squad. So he's in a good place, obviously. And again, he's been, you know, up and down a little bit with his consistency and form like many others. So I'm hoping now that we'll see, you know, a real rich seam of form from him. You know, he scored a great goal in the semi-final there a couple of weeks ago, played quite well against Motherwell. So, yeah, I mean, he's taken that on into Scotland and hopefully he carry it on again after that.
Just a final one from me. In terms of your goalkeeper, is Scott Bain still the man to be dislodged?
Well, you'll have to wait and see tomorrow.
Tenterhooks.
Neil, see on Ryan, is he physically fit to play 90 minutes tomorrow if selected?
Well, I'd assume so. I mean, he's match fit, match ready. You know, he got a bit of a bump on the thigh, but he's shaking that off, and he was out this morning, so he should be okay.
And just finally from me, Neil, even for experienced campaigners like Shane, would have having those international games been a good thing for him? Obviously, you took him out of the team for the Motherwell match. Yeah,
I mean, he probably could have done with a break. He was another one, played the 390 minutes, you know, but sometimes you got to play through it if you're just struggling a little bit for form or confidence. And, you know, I saw a lot in his performances, you know, to start to show that he was coming back into a lot of form.